that's another thing. Calvin is someone that he's like, when I ain't had no pops, Calvin was the person that you feel me, stepped in them shoes. So no matter if he's not my coach, anything like that, he's always.
Can you allude to more about growing up with Lamont Roach in the gym? I know you said it was empty.
Oh man, them two used to go at it. You know what I'm saying? You know, Tank was from Baltimore, Roach was from DC,
and somebody at a distinct disadvantage, and I think that's unfair. And so that's how I look at it, and that's what bothers me.
Reportedly said that Coach Calvin Ford wasn't doing enough to prepare Gervonta "Tank" Davis for his fight. Tank reacted strongly. He defended his coach with passion and intensity in a moment that was caught on camera. Davis rejected Roach's comment, calling it disrespectful and unfair. This heated exchange shows how loyal Davis is to his team and reflects the rising tension between the two fighters after their controversial majority draw. GervontaDavis faced Lamont Roach Jr. at the Barclays Center on March 1, 2025. The night brought more than just a close fight. Tight sparked a dramatic story. The match ended in a majority draw, marking the first time Tank didn't win, which stirred up even more excitement. It also triggered drama around Coach Calvin Ford, rising tensions in the training camp, and set the stage for a thrilling...
I don't know the exact details or stuff that we've heard, but I think he's going to have Calvin in his corner this time. I think he will have Kenny, but he's not going to have Calvin. I think that's probably going to be like an advantage for you since he's going to have somebody new in his corner, if I'm not mistaken.
More than likely. I think that's a little weird. You know what I'm saying? Be with your trainer, your lifetime, your career trainer, and to... you know, to not have him as your head trainer in the corner, so that might be a difference maker for him. You never know. I think me personally, as a boxing fan, I think Calvin fits him the best. Knowing boxing inside and out, I think Calvin fits him the best. So.
AEYSHAWN. Davis criticized Gervonta "Tank" Davis, saying he didn't seem fully focused during his fight. With Lamont Roach, he suggested that Tank's mind wasn't completely on the fight, which may have hurt his performance. Many fans agree, believing that outside distractions played a role in Tank's struggles during the highly anticipated matchup. Davis's weak performance against Lamont Roach left many fans disappointed and questioning if he's still at his peak. The absence of his longtime trainer, Calvin Ford, added to the speculation that Davis wasn't the same without his support. Some believe that Ford's absence was a key reason why Davis didn't look as sharp as he usually does.
So, Rick Glazer is reporting that GervontaDavis and Lamont Roach sold 149,000 pay-per-view buys. And he tweeted this report at Turkey a la Sheik. Coincidence? Truthful? Do you trust Rick Glazer's reporting on this issue? If you do, let me know why. If you don't, let me know why not. But you best believe I have a long video coming on this later today. Y'all be sure to check that out.
The moment came in round 9 when Davis took a knee after being hit with a jab. Even referee Steve Willis later admitted it should have been called a knockdown, but he didn't count it and let Davis's corner clean his face instead. The crowd booed, and many in the boxing world were upset. After the fight, Davis said a greasy hair product got in his eyes and made him drop to a reason most people didn't believe. Meanwhile, Roach firmly insisted that he should have been declared the winner.
The bigger picture, he just wasn't focused for real. He, doing a lot of arguing in the ring and just a lot of stuff that wasn't like, he wasn't just focused. He wasn't all the way locked in the ring. You heard him say something like, it's a lot of things going on outside the ring that he was leading up to the fight, and shit, that's natural, you know what I'm saying? It's normal. Shit, I was going through the same thing with this last fight, you know, so... I just feel like he just wasn't focused.
9th round controversy. Davis explained that he took a knee because something got in his eye and he didn't want anyone to notice. He also admitted he didn't realize it could lead to disqualification, saying, "But I didn't know I could get disqualified for this." His comment has sparked more debate about the fairness of the fight's outcome. Controversial fight. Tensions between GervontaDavis and Lamont Roach grew on social media, especially on X, formerly Twitter. Both fighters went back and forth publicly, arguing about the result of their first fight and whether a rematch should happen. Their online exchanges kept fans and boxing experts interested in the ongoing rivalry.
Versus Lamont Roach goes to a majority decision draw, with Tank retaining his WBA lightweight title. Now, I did not score this fight a draw. I had it 7-5 to Lamont Roach. I thought he had the ring generalship and effective pressure. He was landing the jab and effective combinations. Tank, as usual, had a very low output, and he was relying on one big shot. I gave Roach the first 3 rounds, Tank the next 3 rounds, and then Roach 4 the last 6 rounds to win the fight. Not to mention, Tank did take a knee in the middle of the fight. By rule, that should have been considered a knockdown. Yes, it was to get his mouthpiece, and that's why they didn't rule it a knockdown. But anytime a fighter takes a knee, that's a knockdown. And that would have given Roach one more point to win the fight. Now, I'm sure they'll run it back. Lamont Roach absolutely deserves a rematch. He just had the fight of his life. He wasn't scared to go toe-to-toe with Tank. Landing his combinations, the bigger counters, and the more effective shots. He definitely deserves a second payday. Now, in the co-main event, Gary Antoine Russell put on an amazing performance. I think he won 11 or 12 rounds against Raya Valenzuela. Great hand speed, good combinations, masterclass to win the WBA title. And then in the featured bout, Alberto Puello beat Sandor Martin to retain his WBC title. He landed the cleaner left hands, definitely won the last 2 to 3 rounds to edge the fight. But overall, good card. I do think
Ford has been by Davis's side since he was a child, helping him grow from a troubled boy into a world champion in multiple weight classes. But Ford has always been more than just a coach, he's a mentor and father figure. After serving 10 years in federal prison during the 1980s, Ford returned to West Baltimore with a mission to guide young people away from crime through boxing. He met a 7-year-old Davis at the Upton Boxing Center and took him under his wing. Determined.
Take a knee. You need to lose like 10-8 that round at least, no? And plus the corner go up and put it a towel in the face. That's a disqualification for sure.
To override his decisions or knockdowns. Some skeptics have suggested that Willis's call benefited Davis unfairly, but we do not subscribe to that notion. In our long experience judging fights, we see no evidence of favoritism, only a referee prioritizing the physical safety of a fighter who appeared compromised by an eye injury. Which I actually get. I understood that statement because, hey, look, Steve Willis he didn't call it a knockdown.
You take a knee like that, that looks like a knockdown, all right?
So I think it's going to be very difficult for the New York State Athletic Commission to review this.
Bond built over many years. GervontaDavis and his head trainer Calvin Ford briefly split before the March 1st, 2025 fight against Lamont Roach Jr.
But I must say, do it enough.
Can you describe what the feeling was like in the ring? And was it to get the towel out, to get the burn out of your eyes, or what was going on? And
I didn't want to get caught. I didn't want to get caught while my eyes was burning, and like you can get knocked out like that. So I'd rather take the knee than But I didn't really know that you can get disqualified for all that, or when you start counting.
Devin Haney openly criticized GervontaDavis for his decision to part ways with Calvin Ford. In an interview, Haney said it was Davis's choice to let Ford go and shared his concerns about what that decision could mean for Davis's.
Let me take a knee, that's a knockdown. But either way, it looked like they may have an immediate rematch. Roach and Gervonta Tank Davis goes back and forth on X, and here's what they say. It seems to me that, okay, if the New York State Athletic Commission overturns the result of the fight, then yeah, it's an immediate rematch anyway. Like Lamont Roach said, he has it in the contract. But if it remains a draw, it looks like Tank's still going to push for the rematch. And I'm hearing that, the fight that they were going to have, which would delay this rematch, was a fight with Pitbull. You could argue that a rematch with Lamont Roach would be far bigger than a rematch with Pitbull. But let me know how you feel in the comments below.
Another member of Davis's team, trainer Barry, took a more neutral approach to Ford's absence. He acknowledged Ford's skill as a coach, but simply said, boxing is boxing, suggesting that while changes like this are important, they are a normal part of the sport.
When we first started, man, it was nobody in the gym. And how would I sit there say one kid and another kid and another kid, and they seen the love that we was given. Everybody keeps thinking it's boxing. It's not boxing. It's basically giving them an opportunity to be themselves.
Yeah.
And I always preach that because I sit there and tell them all the time. I say, all that's going to get old, so I need y'all to grow up quick.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So when we in the gym, we're not just teaching boxing, we teaching life skills.
So
what are they going to do to me?
Nothing.
And y'all seeing the results.
Seeing the results.
Seeing the results of it. Everybody kept saying it was this, it was that. You know what I'm saying? And they only found increments of it. You know what I'm saying? But it spoiled.
Decided not to travel with Davis for that training camp, choosing instead to focus on working with young fighters back home. He didn't see it as a breakup, but rather a strategic pause. Ford said, "I'm still part of it, just from a different perspective," and explained that the time apart helped both him and Davis appreciate it.
I'm hoping that he do what I need him to do. You know what I'm saying? You see how I asked him, are you ready? You know what I'm saying? Because I need somebody that's going to really push that so I can see different levels of it. This time I had a chance to step back. And everybody keeps saying, oh, they changing up stuff. No, we ain't changed up anything. It's the same thing we always do. You know?
Going into the training camp, how was it? Or you said you stepped back a little bit. Well, how was it? Splitting the time. How's it going to be splitting the time to
no, this
Saturday
night?
Night?
We do all the time. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Right now, y'all know all I gotta do is speak. Then take out history.
In his corner, Davis ended up with a draw against Roachta, first mark on his previously perfect record. This led to widespread speculation that Ford's absence had hurt Davis strategically. Soon after the backlash, the two reunited, with Ford returning to training camp and restoring both emotional and tactical support. Davis expressed how happy and relieved he was to have his longtime mentor back, calling it a full-circle moment that rebuilt their trust ahead of the rematch.
For the fact of the Lions podcast will not cover the fact that Calvin and Kenny, they got fired. Now, if Devin fired me, it would be, huh? Well, yeah, they got fired.
I didn't know that was real. I thought that was some cat.
They're trying to be quiet. Man, they done got fired, man. Them people that got fired, man. They hoping they get hired. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, they're working on getting back.
Man, Calvin came in on there with he had them GTD first shorts, with them GTD leggings, with that GTD Kango cap, with that GTD glasses, GTD shirt. Man, guess what? The man gave him a hug, man, and left him in the hallway. And everybody want to act like that they're not really. See, they keep that magnifying glass on us.
Gym became a second home for Davis, a place where he felt the love and support he didn't always get elsewhere. To Davis, Ford wasn't just a coach, he was a true father.
Camp was good, you know what I mean? With us is always good. Of course, boxing is boxing, and you can see have some unforeseen things go on. But for the most part, we had a great time.
Very good. And how's he looking at camp? What are you expecting from him on fight night?
He was sharp, just to be Tank. You know what I mean? Tank being Tank. Just a little different for us because this is somebody that's close, to us. You know what I mean? Somebody we got love for. And normally the people we fight, people we don't know. So you can be as mean as nasty as you want to. But for this fight, we got to cast our feelings aside for that 36 minutes or whatever it is and take care of business. That's it.
Davis addressed them directly, assuring fans that Ford wasn't leaving. "Calvin ain't going anywhere, and I ain't going anywhere either," he said, firmly standing by their bond. While Davis was confident in their relationship, Ford later admitted that his role in Davis's career might be coming to a natural end. He said he had taught Davis everything he could, and if Davis was ready to move on, he would accept it. Ford made it clear that his main concern was Davis's success, whether or not he was part of the journey.
Y'all have to understand, he's a young man, he have a family, he want to do something, enjoy something. Don't take some time. I took a little bit of time out. You know what I'm saying? It refreshes you, gets you back on that. So tonight, he had a chance with me not being around him a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I stepped in and I seen how he missed me and how I missed him. You know what I'm saying? I just can't wait.
Calvin Ford guided a young GervontaDavis through the dangerous streets of Baltimore, helping him focus on boxing instead of falling into trouble. He turned the Upton Boxing Center into more than just a gym. It became a place of discipline, hope, and safety. Ford's structured coaching helped Davis shape his raw talent, giving him a stable path away from chaos. Their journey together shows the power of resilience, commitment, and trust. Ford worked to keep Davis off the streets, while Davis gave Ford a sense of purpose. Their bond is a true example of how mentorship can change lives. When it came to the fight against Roach, Ford didn't hold back in his honest assessment. He felt Davis didn't bring his best, saying Tank missed clear chances to take control. Instead of pushing forward early, Davis boxed too cautiously and failed to close rounds with his usual aggression. Ford believed those lost moments allowed Roach to stay in the fight. In his view, Davis had the skills to end it early, but didn't act with the urgency and killer instinct that usually define him. Now, both coach and fighter are focused on fixing that before the rematch.
Calvin, he been with me since I was 7. I used to sleep in Coach Calvin's house. I used to sleep at his job when he was working at a seafood restaurant in Baltimore.
When I had to train Tank, when I didn't want him to get in trouble and I wanted to make sure we was together, I used to take him to work with me. And he'd chill. Everybody know him. Everybody know him at work.
Remember, Calvin used to fuss at the guys that was coming up with me, and they was in the streets a lot. He was telling them, like, you can't have 1 foot in and 1 foot out. You gotta be, like, all the way in it. Like, focus on the goal, you know, and them guys, they went left, and unfortunately, they got killed.
You weigh the odds out like that. Do you want him to go to jail or you want him to live? That's the whole idea, to come to the boxing gym.
If I ain't had the people I had around me, like the people that started with me and things like that, I probably would have been off the same.
Ford seemed to suggest that sometimes a tough fight is needed to help a boxer refocus and return to the level where Tank truly belongs. He also gave credit to Roach for his preparation and toughness, noting that Roach took punches that would have hurt most fighters. Still, Ford believed the main lesson was that Tank could have done more to win, clearly, instead of letting the fight be so close.
Calvin Ford, what does he mean to you when you hear that name? What does he mean when you first hear that?
A father.
Mm-hmm.
Father. And then he's one of the guys that held a lot of this, like, this whole family together.
Mm-hmm.
Him with Kenny. But for sure, like, them two, they held the whole camp together.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Wouldn't be here without him? Would you say that? Without Calvin?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't be here without him. Just off of the fact of when I was coming to the gym, I was getting that love that I ain't have at home type stuff. So it was always like, Calvin, saying I walked through the gym, Calvin, like, looking for him type stuff.
He told me he used to come to the gym and you'd be outside, sleep in front of the gym, in front of the door.
Yeah, I used to run from I go to school, and then from school, I go straight to the gym. Don't tell my grandma or nothing. Just go straight to the gym. And the gym was closed. The gym didn't even, I used to get out of school probably 3 o'clock, and the gym didn't open till like 4:30. I'd just be outside just sleeping on the front of the gym, just waiting. Police grabbed me before, like, get up. Think I'm just out here just grab me, like, what you doing out here? I'm waiting on the gym.
All for a reason.
Yeah.
All for a reason.
Facts.
Does your team get nervous before fights?
I don't know. They probably do. I don't, but I don't get nervous.
Yeah.
Well, I'm lying. Anybody that...
What do you think about Davis strongly defending Calvin Ford? Did Tank's response show real loyalty, or was it just pre-fight hype before the rematch? Share your thoughts in the comments below.